hour, I think, is actually one of the most important hours I get to host on HSN. And I think for all of us, it's a crazy time in this world, and I think we have to be prepared. I think we need to be proactive, and I think we really need to be ready. A lot of Bs in this hour. We're gonna talk about one of the most important ways to truly be ready, especially if there's an emergency. The power goes out. There's about to be a huge snow and ice situation going all across the country, including a very unusual snow event in northern Florida and predicting ice. And what happens when we have the hurricanes, the tornadoes, the ice, the snow? For no reason the other day, on a Friday night, I was in downtown St. Pete and the entire city went black. It was the craziest thing, guys. And we looked around and we thought, what's wrong? And to this day, we've not found out why all the lights were out in a major city, St. Petersburg, Florida. So you've got to be prepared, you've got to be ready. And how do you get ready? You get ready with our EcoFlow. Now I want to show you the weather that's coming, because right now tonight, I went online and looked this up. Look at these temperatures. Now you want to be not reactive, you want to be proactive. And that's part of our goal tonight, is get you set up. So if it is -20 and you're losing power way up in Minnesota, Wisconsin, the Dakotas, look at places like Virginia is 3 degrees tonight. That's not real feel. That is the actual temperature. Look at northern Florida. Now, I will tell you, up in Tallahassee and the Panhandle, they are not ready for snow and they're not ready for ice. And can you imagine by tomorrow and going into Wednesday, Tuesday into Wednesday, how crucial having power will be for so much of the country, let alone right now. I will tell you right now, I got a lot of facts for you tonight. Right now in California, I checked right before I went on the air, there is currently 50,000 homes in California that does not have power. That doesn't include the homes where they shut the grid down a week ago because they were affected by those horrible fires. Right now, there's places in New York, Texas, Pennsylvania, and here in Florida that is without power. And what do you do when you don't have power? We have the absolute perfect answer. Now, we got a couple choices in our EcoFlow. This is the one that I own. We have two. We have one in our little place up in Michigan, and I have this one for Florida, because I know wherever I'm at, I want to have power in that emergency. I want power when it's fun stuff too. So here's what we're doing. This is an EcoFlow, and it's the top of the line in the River series, and yet it's under 20 pounds. I can move this baby around very easily. You have your choice of just getting this EcoFlow, and if you want that right now, you are saving $270. What I'm gonna recommend is you get the full package, and what's that? You get the EcoFlow, you get the solar panel, which comes with its own package, and you get the $70 upgrade on the carrying case. This is the configuration I have you're seeing right here. If you get this full configuration, you're saving $580. One solar panel at the full HSN price is $300. The bag is another $70. So I've already hit almost the $419 mark just with the panel and the bag. And by the way, you're getting the top of the line in the River series in our EcoFlow tonight. All right, we have a lot to get to. That's enough of me, because I want to get to Justin Hyatt. He joins us and he brings us all of our beautiful EcoFlows. And Justin, you know, I saw your face when we put that map up, and you literally were shocked.
Well, it's
you're like,
it was like PTSD for me, because when I moved up to Minneapolis, I moved up in the middle of winter, and it was 30 below. I'm from Florida. I didn't know what Minnesota was going to be like, let alone being there in the middle of winter, but you adapt. And the way that we adapt is we get prepared. But often, even what you were just saying, which is, you know, there's ways that we can get prepared, like, of course, having power. But we don't get prepared for sometimes these once-in-a-generation storms where you think, well, in Florida, I get prepared and I can keep myself cool. But what happens when all of a sudden we need to think about keeping ourselves warm? We don't think about that, but in order to do all of those things, what do we need? We need power. And that's why when we think about EcoFlow, why it's become the #1 power brand here at HSN, why it's become the #1 power station brand in the United States. You look at the reviews, we have been around for 6 years, launched here at HSN, and then I love that we are able to offer stuff like this, where this is that Goldilocks. It's not too big, it's not too small, it's that perfect size. We have kind of what we call our River line, which is our kind of like our portable and affordable line. Now, this weighs under 20 pounds, yet we have our River 2 Max. This is the River 2 Pro. It's the most powerful under 20 pounds that we have. So if you're looking for something that's going to be manageable power, I always say it's confidence to know you have it. It's confidence to know that you can use it. This is simple and easy. And of course, we're standing right here next to a generator. This is one of the things that we say it's not easy. It is complicated, and not every one of us who is watching right now can even own one of these gas generators. So this has become the #1 alternative and option for so many people who, like you said, look, I just want something easy. I want something that I'm going to feel comfortable with. That's what this is.
Well, here's what I think it's going to be deceiving, because you're looking at our set and we're going to talk about, oh, the today's special is here. Great. You would think it's such a little size. It's so petite. I'm going to grab this if you don't mind. You think, oh, a little mini fridge. It's going to work on a dorm fridge. No, this one is so powerful and such a small, easy footprint. It'll actually power that fridge.
Yeah, that's, it's funny because sometimes, some people will ask me, well, I always say the HSN family, people here in the studio are just like, Justin, is it really going to do a full-size refrigerator? Yes, absolutely. So I got it plugged in right here. We'll walk over here really quickly. I'll just show you that there is no power right here to the full-size refrigerator and to the freezer. And we were going to ask you right now, we always say get prepared. What are we preparing ourselves for? We don't know.
Exactly
we know
right.
At some point in time, it could just be one of the down power lines. It could be a crazy ice storm in Tallahassee that we never thought was going to happen.
Yep.
Something that weighs 17.2 pounds. We can carry with one hand, plug it in right here, and then I'm just going to go ahead and turn on that AC power. And now in just a few seconds, we're going to have power to a full-size refrigerator. Now, what does that symbolize to you? Well, $300, $400 in our
money.
Food. Money, right? And then that's how we sustain ourselves, is not only just having power, but having the food and water. What about medicine? We often, sometimes these are things that we don't necessarily think about because we're not affected by that. But when the lightning hits and the thunder strikes and we're sitting there, we're thinking, what are we going to do?
Oh, no.
And yet you still have power to the full-size refrigerator with something that you can hold in one hand.
And to your point, how much is food nowadays? I went to the groceries the other day. I had 3 bags when I walked out. I'm still appalled. I was like, are you kidding me? So the lights are out. We've lost power. You've got easily hundreds of dollars in your food right now because everything's so expensive. Think about just all the meat in your freezer. This could literally, one time of having to throw all this food out and then having to replace it will easily pay for the complete bundle you're getting tonight. Just one time, just throwing it out, not even replacing the food, could easily pay for our big bundle with the solar panel and with all the extras included. So why do you want to get this? And I always say this, here's what happens. Tomorrow, a huge, vast swath of the country is going to get just slammed. I mean slammed. And God bless you all. I'm only thinking the best for everybody. Nobody wants to be in a bad circumstance, but there's going to be places getting snow and ice that never get it. And what is correlated with that? A lot of people are going to lose power. You just know it's going to happen. And I always say, are you prepared? A lot of times when something happens, we react. Oh, I'm going to run to the store once the snow melts or they clear it off, and I'm going to go buy a gas-powered generator because, oh my God, we've lost power. You'll be willing to pay any price, and you'll be willing to even get the dented unit because you just have to have power. I always say when we do these shows, just be proactive. That's why I have one in each place that we could possibly be living, because I don't want to ever be in that circumstance. And when we had our big hurricanes come through, we were all in that circumstance. We lost power on the second one for multiple days. And thank you, I have the Pro River. This is the exact unit. And my husband, while I was away working, my husband lived off this baby. He used this to make sure he had power for not just 10 hours or 24, for several days in a row. So here's your chance to really be proactive. We said this last night we were on together. A lot of people think, oh, will it ever happen to me? It's not when it's not if it's going to happen. It's literally when it's going to happen. And the weather has been so unpredictable and crazy. Those folks in North Carolina. Yeah. Now, hurricane people, we know. A hurricane's coming. It's like a slow train coming down the tracks, and you can't jump off, but at least you can get prepared to be hit, okay? And you can make choices. So we all know down here, you better be ready. Still, a lot of people don't have a power unit, right? But we know to be ready. North Carolina, God bless all of them, they had no idea what was going to happen. Here's something I learned very recently, and please, God bless all of you out in California, especially around the LA area. I didn't realize this, but your home could be perfectly fine and you're kind of not in the fires of LA, but if you're on the grid and they're turning it off in the part that has been affected, you lose your power too. And I had never, Justin, thought of that.
Yeah.
People who have not been touched by the fire are still affected by the fire.
Well, those are the type of stories that we hear just more and more of, well, we didn't think about this, we didn't think about that, we didn't realize, and obviously what we've seen with North Carolina, the way that the hurricane moved through us all the way up to the East Coast, the way that it did, and through Tennessee and all the different people that were affected by it, just the different infrastructures, like you said, whether it's in California that can get overrun with power during the summertime heats, and then they decide they need to turn the power off. Let alone not even with, when it's the fire seasons. You don't know what's going to happen. As we said, be prepared for anything. If you want to just be prepared for anything, be prepared by getting an EcoFlow. So whether it's the emergencies or if it's the fun stuff, if it's just the pure inconvenience, and for some of us, what's an inconvenience? Inconvenience of being out of power for 2 hours or 3 hours. When we start getting beyond that, it's not just an inconvenience. Now we start to feel the trouble, and now we start to feel that anxiety. Why feel anxiety when you can have something simple and you can have something easy like this? Sure. We're sitting right here on your kitchen island. We've got our light, we've got our fan, and we've got a full-size refrigerator, and we got an induction burner. What does that mean? I can have light in my home. I can keep myself cool. I can have my internet right here with my router, because now, of course, when I plug that in, I'll have power to that. And then if I want to come over here, if I have an induction burner that I've probably picked up right here at HSN, now I'm cooking food. Keeping food cool, cooking food, and when I think about cooking food, it's not just, again, the convenience aspect, but it's also thinking, what happens when it is freezing like it is right now? Okay, everybody in Tallahassee who's never thought about freezing, now it gets cold there, but not as cold as we're about to experience.
They're supposed to get snow.
Right. It's about to get snow in Tallahassee. It's
like
about to snow.
Potentially the Panhandle's going to get 3 inches of snow.
When do we say, hey, by the way, it's going to snow in Florida?
Never.
Never. No, never happens, right? I think my dad, he grew up in Miami. That was probably, 50 years ago it snowed in Miami.
No way.
Yeah, 50 years ago.
That's crazy.
But you just never know, right? Maybe it's just another 50 years and it's going to snow again. We get prepared for these things. Now, granted, something like this didn't exist 10 years ago. It does now. And that's why when we think about moving to different alternatives and options, yes, can you get a gas generator? Yes, certainly, if you feel confident and if you feel comfortable. And of course,
if you move it, can you pick it up?
That generator weighs over 100 pounds.
I couldn't even move it.
It's a pain to just wheel from place to place,
right.
Let alone when you look at this that weighs 17.2 with one touch of a button, where I don't have to feel like, okay, I gotta lug this from place to place. No, this is an emphasis on portable and power, because now at under 20 pounds, plus we include the backpack, and I love that. Because as you said, throw this in the backpack, you maybe never have to take it out, you throw your cables in that backpack, and again, it just makes it even more portable than ever. And the same thing goes with the solar panel. Take that with you. 99% of the time, you're gonna be enjoying this for all the fun things that life offers, and then that 1% where it is an emergency, use your EcoFlow. If I was to compare that then to a generator, you say, I'd really be only using a generator for that 1%, which is emergency. What about for the other 99% of the time? I'll tell you what happens with it. It sits in a garage. It sits in a storage unit. This doesn't sit and wait for a good time. It's going to make you think about having a good time and taking power where you need it, when you need it.
I'd love you to do a 360 on this unit.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna unplug everything just so you guys can see all the different ports. And that's the other thing too. You've got 4 3-prong AC outlets. So that means I'm not having to unplug to plug things in. I've got all the different USB-A, USB-Cs. We've also got the DC adapter right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 3-prong AC outlets. We also have that DC adapter right here. We also have the DC barrel port. So if any of you are RVers or campers, you'll know a lot about those different barrel ports right there. Right here is where we got all for our small electronics, our USB-A and then our USB-C. One thing that's very unique about the River line is that USB-C is actually an input as well. So if you ever take this with you traveling, you forget your cable, that same iPhone cable that you charged your phone with can actually charge your power station. Now, how quickly can you charge your power station? From 0 all the way to 100% in just 70 minutes. So think about what we just did. We cooked food, we were able to keep food cool with the refrigerator and a light and a fan, and then in just 70 minutes right here by plugging it in, that is industry leading. And then this orange port right here is where you can take that DC cable that also does come included with either the bundle or not. You can take this and plug it into your car, or if you are getting the bundle, you can use that solar panel to charge your unit up. You can have up to 220 watts of total solar input and charge this in just 3.5 hours with the sun.
Okay, so I just want to explain something I think it's so so important. This launched here 6 years ago. It actually here is in 6 years, in a very short amount of time, it's become the #1 brand in the country. Like, so it's gotta be really good, right? And this is like top of the line in the River series. That's why I own it. Here's something you were gonna be really surprised with. It comes with a 5-year warranty. But explain how long this is supposed to last, because I love this information.
So before we used to say we'd give you a 2-year warranty, which still is unbelievable in the world of electronics, right? Now we give you a 5-year warranty, and this is why. We have things that are called life cycles. Every single battery that exists has life cycles. Our phones, we experience it all the time. We say, why does my phone seem like it doesn't hold the charge like it used to? Well, our power stations used to have roughly about 300 life cycles, which was great. Still, was fantastic for the time. The way that evolution of batteries go, they get better and better and better. Instead of 300, we've added a 0. You have over 3,000 life cycles with your LFP batteries. LFPs are the same exact battery cells you'll find in all of these different electric vehicles. What does that mean? If I was to deplete this and recharge it once a day, it would take me 10 years, that's right, before this power station only charged 0 to 80%. You get a 5-year warranty. That's more than double what we used to have. So you're getting a battery system that's gonna last you longer, that charges faster, that is lighter weight, and oh yeah, by the way, more affordable. When we launched any of these, they were easily over $1,000.
Yes.
Now when you see this, the battery technology is even better, and yet it's still more affordable.
And in 10 years, it still works and charges up to 80%. So here's how I look at it too. I know it's not a $20 item. I get it. Okay, this is not an inexpensive item, although it's one of the most affordable ones we do, actually, but it's not inexpensive, I understand. But I realize not only do I have peace of mind having my EcoFlows, I can check that off the list of something I don't have to worry about. And knowing that in 10 years, if I were to use it every single day and just run it and run it and run it, I'm gonna go past 10 years because it means in 10 years it powers up to 80% still. So I've got more years after that, right? So this is really built to last. So you buy it now, you never have to worry about the issue of power again, and then you're gonna use it year after year after year after year after year. And you can't say that about your cell phone. My cell phone's maybe a year old and it's already at like 50% halfway through the day. It drives me nuts. That's not gonna happen. It's not like cell phones, even the modern cell phones, that's not gonna happen to this unit. I mean, you've got years and years, potentially the rest of your life, because we're not going to use it every single day, that you're done. You never have to think about that expense again. Now, let me kind of explain what we've done to make it easy. So we have today, remember, free shipping. I think we do free shipping. Yep, we have free shipping, and we have 5 Flex today. Remember, the 5 Flex is going to go away because this is the end of this kind of mini event we've done over the last several days. If you want to get this, here's what I'm going to recommend. I'm going to walk over here one more time, and then I'll come back, Justin, in just a sec. Here's what I have, and it is by far the best value, and I'd highly recommend it because you're gonna really want this solar panel, and Justin's gonna explain how that works in just a sec. So here's the unit itself. Okay, here's your unit. So remember, we're gonna add this up. If you bought the unit, the solar panel, and the pack that comes with it, you would spend almost $1,000. So here we are, we're at $399.99 versus $1,000. It's a massive savings of almost $600. The solar panel by itself at its full HSN price is $300, okay? My backpack carrying case, which is a beautiful quality case, is a $70 value. So there we are, we're at $370 before we throw in the top of the line in the River series and the latest edition. That's almost the price of getting the whole thing just for the panel and for the case. Also, the case or the solar panel comes with its own case, which again is beautiful. I recommend it because you're saving a ton, and also it's the complete system. If you just want to buy this unit, that's fine too. This unit is available at a $270 savings. That's why you're seeing 2 different prices. Now, I would say, if you're buying that unit, I'm gonna grab these. I was hoping they would be over this way, but I'll grab them and bring them on over. Oh, they're good and heavy. That's good, because they're really solid, and you could leave them outside. These are the solar panels. If you just wanna buy the unit, you don't carry about the carrying case,